And I talk about the two factors, two sides of a coin. One is the child that is subjected to violence, but also the parents or whoever's in charge of a child that also could be subjected to their own violent behaviors. So just try to look at violence more globally, okay? And then if we look at the different dynamic factors that feed into violence, how we can elucidate the problem and help the child. There is a willingness to change. That's number one. Right, and number two is that the terrible things that happened to those children created a consciousness that we have to do something. Notice that in larger countries, in the United States or in Europe, when something really heinous happens, it's the good news for 1 or 2 days and then everybody has forgotten it. But this one has reverberated and it's created, let's do something about it. We may acknowledge that we have a problem and we have to prevent it so it doesn't happen again. So there's that readiness that I find here in the islands, not only this one but in other islands, is that readiness to just collaborate for help, to have some kind of prevention that would not happen again. We want to know how to read the signs that could create a violent behavior. Or what are the signs of somebody who's subjected to violence? And I think those are the core questions about how do you respond to it. So most of the questions were like that, and very briefly I tried to give a 30-second example or answer, but I said, did I answer? And they said, yes. So that gave me a lot of pleasure, to see that at least I could address that. Well, from the art therapist standpoint, we have to just have some kind of tangible, objectual element, right? And see how the child is kind of expressing the anger or that violence or that numbness on a drawing, or how he gets frustrated also. So the session implies that. Now the parents can see those behavioral changes of attitude. However, if the parents are part of a problem, then you have to do more. There is a systemic problem that has to be addressed as well. As a matter of fact, I've been doing this in other countries, and the results are very good. They're phenomenal because people keep inquiring and they want to have some more. I go a lot to Italy and Spain and France and the United States. And not to say that, I'm just a world traveler, but they ask me to go, and wherever they ask me to go, I go, because my goal is that people would be trained to be able to prevent certain things. So when I'm out of the picture, they can just take some form of action and refer. I said, immediately you have to refer to somebody who is trained. And something, and I'm glad you asked that question, because for the last 8 years I have been a resource through Dr. Janice Cruz, and through Skype we were communicating to solve some problems for families and children. So and I hope I can keep doing that.
Esakita e Arubiano, o website